Beneath the waves of the Pacific, where the sun barely reaches and silence reigns, lie countless untold stories, stories of heroism, sacrifice, and tragedy. This is one of them. The USS Scamp, SS-277, was a formidable hunter, a ghost in the deep, a silent stalker of enemy convoys. From her commissioning in 1942 until her disappearance in late 1944, she prowled the vast ocean, launching deadly attacks against the Imperial Japanese Navy. But like so many warships of her time, her luck would run out. In November 1944, she vanished without a trace, becoming yet another mystery of the silent service. What happened to her? Did she fall victim to enemy depth charges, or did an unseen catastrophe claim her beneath the waves? Today, we dive deep into the final moments of USS Scamp and honor the 83 men who never returned. But before we begin, if you love uncovering history's greatest untold stories, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Echoes Untold, where history whispers, and we listen. The USS Scamp was a Gato-class submarine, one of the most advanced and feared underwater vessels of its time. With a length of 311 feet and a displacement of 1,525 tons, she was built for endurance, able to stay submerged for extended periods while delivering devastating torpedo strikes. Commissioned on September 18, 1942, at the Portsmouth Naval Shipyard, she was thrust into war at a time when the U.S. submarine force was becoming the backbone of the Pacific Campaign. Her primary mission: to cut off Japanese supply lines, sink enemy warships, and weaken the enemy's ability to wage war. From 1943 to 1944, USS Scamp embarked on 7 successful war patrols, leaving a trail of destruction across the Pacific. First patrol, March 1943. The hunt begins. Under the command of Lieutenant Commander Walter Gale Ebert, Scamp's first patrol took her into enemy waters, where she quickly proved her worth. On March 7, 1943, she torpedoed and sank the Japanese freighter Kokusai Maru. Just days later, she engaged another enemy vessel, damaging it before slipping away into the depths. Second and third patrols, growing aggression as her confidence grew, so did her lethality. During these patrols, she engaged heavily guarded Japanese convoys, launching bold attacks and surviving depth charge assaults. In May 1943, Scamp secured a major victory by sinking the Japanese submarine I-168, which had earlier played a role in the sinking of the USS Yorktown at Midway. This was not just a victory, it was revenge. 4th to 7th patrols, increasing the pressure throughout 1943 and early 1944, Scamp became one of the U.S. Navy's most dangerous submarines. She stalked the enemy relentlessly, engaging in aggressive torpedo attacks and evading countermeasures. But as the war raged on, the Japanese adapted. Their anti-submarine tactics improved, and their depth charge technology became deadlier. The silent service's luck was running out. By the fall of 1944, the Pacific War was at a critical juncture. The U.S. was advancing toward the Philippines, cutting off Japan's supply lines and tightening the noose around its empire. On October 16, 1944, USS Scamp departed Pearl Harbor for her 8th war patrol. She made a brief stop at Midway Atoll to refuel before setting course for the Bonin Islands, an area heavily patrolled by the Japanese. She was assigned a dangerous mission: disrupt enemy shipping and be ready for potential support operations during the upcoming invasion of the Philippines. November 9, 1944, Scamp transmitted her final message. She reported her position north of the Bonin Islands, confirmed she had all her torpedoes aboard, and had sufficient fuel for extended operations. It was routine. There was no distress signal, no sign of trouble. Then, silence. No further transmissions were received. At first, the U.S. Navy assumed she was simply operating under radio silence, as submarines often did to avoid detection. But as the days passed, concern grew. What had happened to USS Scamp? Following the war, American intelligence scoured captured Japanese records, searching for any mention of a missing submarine. The findings were chilling. November 11, 1944, Japanese war records indicate that on this day, an unidentified American submarine was detected near Tokyo Bay. An enemy aircraft spotted the vessel, prompting an aggressive counterattack. The submarine was targeted by the Kaiboken CD-4, an escort vessel specializing in anti-submarine warfare. What followed was a merciless assault. Over the next several hours, CD-4 and other warships launched more than 70 depth charges into the water. The ocean shook with explosions. Silence followed. There were no confirmed survivors, no debris, no radio distress calls. The American submarine was gone. When U.S. Navy analysts compared the attack location to Scamp's last reported position, the grim reality became clear. USS Scamp had likely been destroyed in this attack. Though the USS Scamp was declared lost, her name lives on in the annals of naval history. She was officially struck from the Naval Vessel Register on April 28, 1945, and awarded 7 battle stars for her service. To this day, her wreck remains undiscovered, her final resting place hidden beneath the vast Pacific. Each year, submariners and historians gather to honor the men of Scamp, ensuring their sacrifice is never forgotten. The story of the USS Scamp is one of courage, resilience, and tragedy. She fought fiercely, striking at the heart of the enemy before vanishing into the abyss. As we remember her, we are reminded of the cost of war, and the countless stories still waiting to be told. If you enjoyed this deep dive into history, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to Echoes Untold, because history is never silent. Echoes Untold, where history whispers, and we listen. Fact-checked sources: Naval History and Heritage Command, History, Navy, Milnavsource Naval History, Navsource, org US. Submarine losses in World War II, pigboats.com.